Alright, so this is our presentation on NIST Cloud Computing Reference Architecture and Use Cases. I'm Trent. We also have Ayush, William, and Akio. And our group is Cumulonimbus Cloud Computing. So an overview, this is kind of stuff we're going to talk about throughout the slideshow, but an overview of NIST SP800, why cloud standards matter, and talk about a little bit of security of cloud systems. So we're going to cover cloud service agreements, deployment models, key takeaways, the main things of the security involving cloud networks. And then a little bit of recommendations for services for cloud. So why do the standards matter? So cloud computing allows for a lot of flexibility and expandability and just a ton of growth in whatever network you have. But that also comes with security risks because you have more people, there's more security risks. So NIST standards have a sort of main streamlined security protocol for cloud networks. So there's other things involving cloud service agreements with businesses, and if those agreements are broken, then the company is punished. And then they also, we try and focus on secure, cost-effective, and legally sound cloud use. So basically keeping everything structured, keeping it safe, legal, security as best as we can do. And then, so to start off chapter 3, we're going to do an overview of commercial terms of service. So they offer promises like availability, so the amount of space you're going to be able to have for the cloud network or how much you're going to be able to expand, security guarantees, things like that. And if the company doesn't follow through, then that's a company most people would not recommend. So remedies for downtime, so it can be credits applied for the time that your server was down because you're supposed to be paying for it, but you're not getting the service. So they're going to make sure that you're going to get that credit back if they're a good company. And then data monitoring and some other licensing agreements. There's a lot of legal stuff involved with it, but you're covered 90% of the time legally that the business should be providing what they say they are and not, whenever it's on downtime, not paying you back. And then, yeah, like we said before, customers should very closely look at those surface level agreements because those are very important and you're going to know exactly what you're getting based on those agreements.
Hi guys, I'm William and we are continuing with the chapter 3. So another thing that the SLAs provide is to promise us of availability. So they give us a promise that they are going to always be available for us to host our systems and also host our service for us. Also, one other thing that we can talk about is limitations. Should in case there is a scheduled outage, a natural disaster, changes can be made to the API. And on talk of the security disclaimers, they usually do not take responsibility for any security breaches. So you're on your own. It's just like a parent taking a child to school. So your parent is responsible for you, and when they drop you off at school, you're on your own. You're in charge of your own security. And always remedies for downtime. What are the remedies that they sometimes give for downtime? Instead of giving you something like money, because always when there is a downtime, you are obviously going to lose money. But they will not give you the money. They will rather give you credits for you to use on their service. So it's like they are still taking control of the monopoly because you can only use the credit on their service. And then acceptable use of policies. There can be no illegal activities, hacking or data breaches. That is not allowed. And also licensing. You have to ensure that third-party software complies with their licensing agreement. That is not negotiable. And when it's time to make payment, you have to make payment. And before the time elapses, they send you a message that, hey, you have to make payment or you are going to lose your data. It's just like, oh, make this payment or we are going to kidnap your child or something like that. So if you do not make the payment, you lose your entire data. Also, you have to be aware of security responsibilities and maintain backups independently. So because you already understand that your data can be lost if you do not make a timely payment, you always have to make sure that you have a backup or something like that of your own. Another thing that we can talk about is their promises may sound very good, but then you don't always rely on whatever they promise you. There is a saying that if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. So sometimes if it sounds too good to be true for you. You just have to make your own research and ensure that you're working with the right service provider. Also, the remedies are also limited, and ensure that your critical data has backup solutions. This we've already talked about. Always, you have to be clear on security and legal responsibilities. So that falls on you as a consumer. You don't expect that the provider will be explaining to you the legalities involved in the services they are going to provide. So it lies on you to make sure that you understand the legalities involved before you get involved in this. Also, you have to carefully review SLAs, especially for mission critical applications. So that's it for chapter 3.
Hi, my name is Akio, and for now I'll be starting chapter 4, which we're going to talk about general cloud environments. So there are a couple different ways to deploy your application on the web, and they're usually either private, public, community hosted, or some type of hybrid system. In terms of control and visibility, they vary greatly, and depends on the deployment model. Generally, in terms of scalability, the public cloud has the advantage here, but on the other hand, the private clouds, they can give you more control and privacy. In terms of security, of course, the private clouds, you have more security, but it's, there's more costs here in terms of management. Going into more details about the cloud deployment models, in terms of private cloud on-site or outsourced, they offer more control and security. When it's a public cloud, they are open to public, of course, but they are low cost and they have less control and higher risk of multi-tenancy. Community cloud, you have shared infrastructure between organizations with common goals. Hybrid cloud, of course, it's a combination of the type of cloud that we just talked about. And now I'll talk about the control and visibility in cloud environments. Private clouds, they offer full control over security and data locations. Public clouds, they offer less control with data spread across multiple locations. Hybrid clouds, they provide a balance but introduce complexity in managing your environments. And visibility into the cloud depends on service agreements and tools offered by providers. And I'll be stopping here, and I will leave Ayush for the next part of the presentation.
Hey, my name is Ayush, and now we're going to talk about the key takeaways of chapter 4. Okay, so these are the points. So the first point is that choose deployment models based on your organization's need for control, security, and scalability. And public clouds are scalable, but come with trade-offs in visibility and control. The other point is that the private clouds offer strong security but require significant upfront costs. And the last point is that consider hybrid models for balanced needs but ensure robust networks and the security controls. So the final recommendations and conclusions are: first, you have to be careful to review SLAs for service availability, data control, and the security terms. And the second thing is that choose the right model and based on your business requirements. The third point is that ensure strong security measures are in place, especially for public and hybrid clouds. Be aware of network dependencies and plan for contingencies in case of failure. The last point is that engage with legal teams to ensure data protection and compliance with laws. So this is the references, and that is all. Thank you.